efficiently. Let me just check in the chat. Okay. It appears to be working. Yeah, it's working. I think it's working again now. Yeah, it was just, we just had a little bit of a freeze. The internet in Mexico, it sucks balls. My internet in Costa Rica is way better. It's crazy. You don't really know how good what you have is until you come come to Mexico. The internet out there is way better in Costa Rica. Anyways, so here we are with Ethereum. Just for fun, we'll go back to Ethereum in the 2020 breakout pattern. Again, throughout the range, Spring moves into the the Livermore widening megaphone. You have the widening megaphone with basically 3 short LPS, all within this middle trading range. No touch back to 0.7 before a total breakout. So we're probably on the edge of a total breakout for Bitcoin here. And it's not, there's a bunch of signs that point that direction. What's fun is it's actually happening for Ethereum right now too. Ethereum was a bit of a slower mover, probably absorbing a ton of supply considering the fact that we moved from $300 Ethereum to building a trading range at the $1,000 mark. So there's probably a lot of hidden supply in the market, but Ethereum is a big player in this ecosystem, and I bet we're going to see it catch up with Bitcoin real fast here. There's not a whole lot holding it back between where we are right now and the $3,200 range. Again, I think this is going to surprise a lot of people. One of the things that usually happens is people are, oh, Bitcoin's doing so well, everything else is a shitcoin, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, the market's not stupid. The market is extraordinarily intelligent, even if it does dumb things, because it's making large consensus-based movements. It's the people who are participating in the market are the ones who move it. So the more people participating, even if they are wrong, let's say plastic bags are popular because we like them, and they're kind of wrong for the environment, right? You can make some arguments. Capitalism doesn't give a shit what you think. It will move the markets because that many more people are interested in it. And that's usually the sign of affirmation that you're in the right position. So it looks very likely that we're going to move to $3,200 Ethereum here very quickly, and then probably into new all-time highs faster than Bitcoin. This last little bit that we're in, this SOS incoming that we've been kind of drawing up for last month or two, from what I can see from this last little bit of supply that we've just checked, we're right on the edge of going straight to 32 and then up to 48 real fast. I think it's going to make an argument against a lot of the Bitcoiners. Ethereum and Bitcoin will catch back up into terms with one another again, not parity. Of course, Bitcoin is still the money of this ecosystem. I believe it's the money of this ecosystem. But decentralized trading is super fucking important for Bitcoin, which doesn't exist at this moment really without Ethereum. So riddle me that one, fucking Batman. But anyways, Ethereum has a ton of value in it, but so do things like Avalanche. I'm much more interested in Avalanche in the long term. Even though there's a shit ton of money moving into Ethereum, big players usually don't recognize the small trends early. That's not what they're good at. Smaller players are better at recognizing big trends early because that's what they need to be good at. Whereas big players who are looking to follow huge momentum in markets like ETFs for Bitcoin, that's where they'll aim. So Bitcoin's getting most of the glory, but it's very likely that we get an Ethereum, Avalanche, Link, and Solana basket or index of these cryptocurrency ETFs in the next year or two. Bitcoin basically helped pave the way for that, and I suspect that we'll see something very similar like this move along the pathway in the next short period of time. So just for fun, let's take a look at where we are with Solana. So again, remembering we're studying these Wyckoff trading ranges. They are extraordinarily powerful. The previous Wyckoff trading range here that we saw with Solana, super sexy, buying climax, shakeout, up thrust, secondary test, spring test, jump across the creek, SOS, LPS, and then boom, into a whole new trading range. I think the same thing has happened now. We've had our buying climax, our shakeout, our secondary test, our spring, our test, into a midway reaccumulation. The last little bit of the backup and SOS appears to be maybe have completed right now, and it looks like we're just going to rip to the top of the box, not just for Solana, but for Avalanche as well. Remember, We are 500 plus days into a falling wedge reaccumulation cycle. We had a beautiful reaccumulation pattern. On the daily, we've totally reset the RSI for Avalanche as well. We're on the way to the top of the box. I suspect we get to $55 in the next week. Once we start to cross over here in the RSI 2 at the 50-point mark, the market moves up faster and easier. So RSI is almost like a logarithmic type of expression. Once you get above 50, the ability to move up and move faster in the upwards direction is noticeable. Same with on the downside. Once you're below 50, it increases. And also once you're above the 70-point mark or below the 30-point mark, they basically act almost as logarithmic. There's a different definition. I forget exactly what it's called, but it feels that way because it moves way faster once the market starts to go into these new perceived directions. So it's really important to understand why that type of sentiment marker is so powerful. It really makes a big difference once you start to go out of that particular range. So here again on the 1 hour for Avalanche, what we were watching again was, I'll get rid of the RSI because it's dirtying up our page here a little bit. After the spring on the left-hand side here, we saw a beautiful reaccumulation pattern take place right here. This is the position, this is the place to be entering your more specific trades. A beautiful jump across the creek and test. This was like the sexiest, easiest entry with the least volatility and the most amount of room for upside. We are now in the backup phase. This is like, you better be in your position because it doesn't give you almost any time to enter. Notice how we went up, back tested the top of effect. We could even get back to this $37 point to retest. Very, very bullish in my opinion. If we're lucky, we'll get one more downswing here in this LPS and backup phase to create like a really nice reaccumulation trading range here. And then we're moving to $55 real fucking fast for Avalanche. Now, once we get to the top, we're going to want to be a little bit more careful. I think that it'll probably do something like this. Boom, boom, boom. We'll get to the top of the box, $52, $53. If we come back in below the box and can't trade above $49, we're coming all the way back down. We saw this with Link. Just for fun, let's do a time frame comparison. We are currently 62 days into this trading range. With Link, the reaccumulation pattern on the daily that we are watching after the breakout was approximately 82 days. It moved up from the bottom and tested the top multiple times before its breakout move. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 tests of either side of this trading range before moving up. Lots of volatility. That's there designed to push out intermediary traders so that they jump from one asset to another. I know we've all experienced it. I've experienced it. Chances are you have also experienced it. You've been like, oh my God, the trade I'm in, it's not going anywhere. Silly Link, I should have been in Bitcoin, or I should have been in Cardano, or whatever it is that's going through your mind. As soon as you make the trade, almost the day after, it starts to rip. This volatility within these types of trading ranges are specifically designed to get rid of intermediary or momentum style traders, whether that's wiping them out through their leverage positions, whatever it might be. But this new reaccumulation range outside of the $500 accumulation range for Link here was 83 days in the making with a lot of volatility to push you out. I suspect it's likely that Avalanche could have something similar. Although I think we just had a very volatile spring, the most of the middle ground trading range I think will take place right here. If we open the VPVR, it becomes a bit more apparent as well. Let's get rid of the previous PSY so it doesn't show up in our data at the moment. And this should wait for yeah, there we go. So we just broke out above the previous, or this current point of control for Avalanche, which was around the $36 to $37 area. If we're lucky, if the intermediary traders are lucky, you'll get a move all the way back down to the top of the box at around $37. And then I believe, again, we're going to just rip to the top of the box here. So both Solana and Avalanche looking very, very similar here on the 4 and 6 hour charts, and moving up with strength and vigor. Just for fun, on the 15-minute, let's take a look at what happened here. Again, we're within a horizontal reaccumulation range. We came back down, primary support, buying climax, first shakeout. In these middle LPS ranges, we don't always get a spring We could see a spring above the box. I definitely won't chart larger reaccumulation patterns as much as more that it's easier to spot them on the smaller 15 to like say 15 minute to 4 hour time frame. If we do get to come back down here, amazing. Just more potential to make sure you're in a position for the rest of this market cycle. But yeah, this is looking very bullish to me. All in all, everything looks pretty astounding. Just for fun here, on the 15-minute for Link too, it's kind of had some super nice, useful data points. We were just looking at the larger reaccumulation of 82 days. This is at the tail end of it. Notice we had a reaccumulation inside of the middle of the box after this last test. We now have a new reaccumulation range taking place, and we are in the final stages of its SOS and backup phase. It's very likely from here that we rip into or close to previous all-time highs in a single movement. Around $25 is my first kind of checkpoint for that, but we could easily go higher. Link is probably one of the more undervalued assets. You could even make an argument that we're about to witness a giant cup and handle here for Link on a multi-portion sequence of the trading range. We've gone over this in our previous videos in Bitcoin in 2013 to 2017. That particular bull market had this type of setup. It looks very similar to me today as Link looks similar to me today as Bitcoin did in 2013. So do not underestimate Link. I think it's now kind of earned its spot as a valuable data provider within this ecosystem, and I think it'll continue to do so. Anyone who's just a Bitcoin maxi is ignoring how valuable technology is, and I think that is probably a mistake. Our thesis has for a long time now been Bitcoin is the money, stick with Bitcoin, but why would I want to ignore everything else when there's so much value there on the table still to play with? So everything is looking good. I just wanted to basically come in today and celebrate. We're going to be screaming into new all-time or like new breakout highs for many assets. I don't think this is a time to be bearish, even though we might see a 30% drop within the next, let's say, 60 days of what's going on here. It's only a sign to accumulate. Everything else up to this moment, the macro analysis, these 500 plus day long-term accumulations, that's fucking bullish. So don't let the medium trend traders kind of throw you around. Oh, it's positive, it's bullish. Oh my God, emergency video here or emergency violent tweet there. Just make sure you're in a position and enjoy the ride. When we get to the top, be greedy, figure out things you want to spend it on, buy yourself a fucking mountain, whatever it might be. I know a few of you wanted to, or had some questions probably as well, so I can take a look at what's going on in the group chat right now. I'll do that. John says, I didn't have enough time to cut firewood, let alone pay attention to the market. That's funny. That happens sometimes. That's why for most people, the best thing you can do is simply focus on doing your day-to-day life job and accumulating what you believe to be are good assets, almost like they are a bill. This always pays off. Trading for most people is very difficult. Getting into and out of positions, having high risk leverage or something like this is a surefire way to lose money. If you need to cut firewood, just make a consistent pact with yourself about how much money you can invest in the assets that you think will do well over the next few years, and you're generally quite successful by doing that. There's a lot of data that proves this. Let's see. There's a few questions. Should I sell my SEI and wait for a dip? I would never suggest selling and rebuying. That's what traders do. Very, very difficult to make that work. I don't think you should go down that avenue. It's better to just, again, consistently accumulate assets and focus on whatever job you're good at. If you happen to be good at this or looking to change your dialect into becoming a better trader, that's possible to do so. Remember that the sickness of the modern investor comes from over trading, under education, and the lack of community support going through that process. And the cure to that can be found by going to arcanebear.com/private and signing up for our private group. I think all 10 of our discount spots have filled up now. So the Hope You Get Rich code was awesome. Thank you all to the new members. If any of you guys that did join had any troubles for some reason, maybe our email got lost in your spam, be sure to email info@arcanebear.com and we can help you make sure you find your way into the private group. So thanks to all the new 10 members that joined. We appreciate that. Let's see. Are you into BRC20s like track? A few of our Bear family members are in that space a bit more than I am. I'm still generally focused on things like Link, Avalanche, and Solana, and then the video games for 100x's, which are more long-term venture capital thesis than they are what I see happening this market cycle specifically. So I'm not too interested in the BRC20s unless I see them move into gaming somehow, which is then I'll be more interested. Lucy in the Sky says, thoughts on moving to Costa Rica for freedom and clean living. Tons of clean living and tons of freedom. I'll make more videos on that when I get back to Costa Rica. We're building a new house, going to rebuild the solar, rebuild the greenhouse. And I'll make some more videos about what it's like living in the jungle, kind of off grid, because you guys keep asking for that stuff, and I know it's a lot of fun to make that content too. Any thoughts on SEI? I don't know what SEI is, but I know what SUI is. SUI. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. I have no idea what SEI is, so I don't have any thoughts on it. I could take a look at the chart just for fun, and we could use it as a point. Whoa. Wait, is this SUI? I don't know what SEI is. Geez. Well, it's had one hell of a run since the start of 2024 already, it looks like, right? You're up 200 to 300%. So this is kind of what I was talking about, just for fun. This is a nice chart to parallel from what I was just speaking about with Link, where you have a large cup and handle coming off the top of separate sections of the trading range, whereas it's actually much easier to see that we had a trading range down here. Bitcoin did this as well back in 2017. SOS, LPS, SOS, LPS, SOS, and now into the final stages of the breakout cycle here. It does look like we're seeing a reaccumulation pattern take off right here as well. I think I saw this with almost an identical position here with INJ, kind of a double bottom, a breakout above the middle of the range, or what we usually perceive as the jump across the creek. It appears to be bullish at the moment, but I don't know a whole lot about this asset, so I'm not going to say more than it looks good. Camera is frozen, screen share not working. Oh shit, really? Man, the internet here. Oh, my camera, the Camlink camera is frozen, but screen share is working. Damn, I might have to stop doing live videos and just upload videos while I'm here in the Mexico internet. It doesn't appear to work super effectively. Let's see if that. Oh yeah, it is frozen. Hey, FaceTime camera. Well, I guess I can do this for now. We'll use the backup FaceTime cameras because it's working. I don't know what happened there. Thanks for letting me know. Let's see if we can fix it really quickly. Yeah, but it appears that what I'm just going to have to do is, well, we're in Mexico. We're just going to have to pre-record videos. That way we don't have any internet troubles. Although this one appears not to be an internet trouble. So I don't know. Thank you for letting me know, though. Thank you for letting me know, though. I appreciate that. Okay. Tio, Elgaran and Avalanche are extremely similar setup. Yes, I was looking at that earlier. It's actually, let's do that now. It does have some fun data points there that we can use as a secondary piece. It's not as strong. It's not as a convincing move for me as Avalanche was. Avalanche had some very, very convincing pieces to it. E.g. LD Tether on Binance trading. Okay, we'll use that one. So here we are. A few pieces right out the gate. This is what he's saying. Elgaran is very similar. You had a falling wedge into the reaccumulation pattern, which I see. You have a spring test breakout. You have an SOS in the middle of the range here, with a reaccumulation breakout to the box, retest, and then what appears to be the inverse head and shoulders that we saw on Avalanche as well. Again, it hasn't started to move into the middle of the range. It probably will. There's enough sentiment here, and the trading range itself seems pretty confirmed. The one downside that I point out is that it fell all the way back into the middle of the box, whereas with Avalanche, we only just touched into the top of the box effectively on the daily. So I'll point this out here just so it's a bit clearer. Here's Avalanche's falling wedge. SOS only touched back into the top of the box here without ever fully removing itself back into the range. So Avalanche is still probably a better position than the Elgaran, I think, or EGLD. I'm not even sure what asset that is. Funny. Too many cryptocurrencies apparently. So anyways, we'll just keep it at that. A nice short video for today. The technicals for EGLD look good, but Avalanche looks stronger. It's got, you're saying it's a multiverse. Yeah, the narrative for Avalanche is also very strong because of its AI potentiality. The cross-chain stuff that it has going on has a lot of sentiment building behind it. I think people will start to realize that as time goes on. I don't think it's found its current place. And what's also interesting is that when we look out at our previous or much larger time frame here for Avalanche, we see that we are just about to break out past some pretty thick areas of resistance. Also, yeah, as Glasswalker is saying, if you guys can right now, smash that like button. Leave your thoughts, your comments, your questions down below. YouTube hates it when I take like a month off every now and then to go do dance or family vacations, whatever it might be. But yeah, please remember to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It helps the channel continue to stay growing. And I love doing this stuff too, so it's a lot of fun. But we'll leave it short for today. Everything's looking really good. Hope you guys are in a great position already. This is Teal with the Arcane Bear. I'm signing off for the rest of the day. And I guess I'll just do uploaded videos so that I don't have any more recording live troubles. Anyways, we'll see you on the next one.